on the matter of State of Florida versus Rodarte.
Excuse me, Judge Branham. This is the court reporter.
Yes.
I can't tell if you're speaking, but I have no audio at all.
Can you hear now?
I can. Thank you very much.
All right, very good. All right, so again, State of Florida versus Rodarte. This is case number 2017 CF 7212. We are here for a sentencing hearing. The court will note for the record that on February 15th, 2021, Mr. Rodarte entered a plea of guilty to the crime of second-degree murder. The court accepted his plea of guilty. Sentencing was deferred until today. Let's take appearances of counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm Savanah Gold on behalf of the state.
Alan Mizrahi on behalf of the state.
Alan Chipperfield of the Office of Public Defender for the defendant.
Thank you. And we'll note for the record that Mr. Rodarte is here present in person with his attorney. For the state, I understand that the state wants to present victim impact statements. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And would you like to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. If I may have permission to approach the back podium.
Certainly.
Thank you. And Your Honor, the state would first call Mr. Dan Gold that has prepared a victim impact statement.
Okay.
Mr. Gold, can you please introduce yourself to the court and spell your first and last name for the court reporter?
My name is Daniel Gold, D-A-N-I-E-L-G-O-L-D.
And Mr. Gold, have you prepared a victim impact statement?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And please let the court know your relation to the victim in this case.
Samantha is my daughter.
Okay. And go ahead, Ms. Nakarasi.
And does Your Honor have copies of all the victim impact
I
statements?
did. In fact, I've read all of them prior to this hearing, and I sincerely appreciate everybody who submitted.
And Mr. Gold, if you could please read your victim impact statement.
Thank you. Your Honor, on April 26, 1996, my life forever changed when I saw Savanah. I instantly could see how beautiful she was. Her extremities were perfect, 10 fingers and 10 toes. Also, she had chubby round cheeks I couldn't wait to squeeze. Her real beauty lies within her true colors. She had the heart of a lion and the presence of the rising sun within our family. Within the first 6 months of Savanah's life, her lion's heart was on full display. She developed septicemia when she was 10 days old from a kidney infection. It seemed to come out of nowhere. 1 minute she was fine, the next she was comatose. That was the most terrifying day of my life. I never felt so helpless. On August 2nd, 2017, that feeling of helpless terror returned and Savanah went missing. Lee took Savanah's life on August 2nd, 2017. As I watched the video of Savanah struggling for her life, Lee's car violently shaking back and forth, I saw her lion heart in glowing colors for the last time. As a parent, I've always hoped my children would find something they love to do and for them to be able to do it. Savanah was a very gifted artist and athlete. For me, it was easy to see her gifts. Savanah was very critical of herself as an artist, but as an athlete, she beamed with confidence. Most of that confidence came from hard work, dedication, and preparation. At 5 feet 2 inches tall, she was never the biggest lacrosse player on her teams. She had the passion and love for lacrosse that allowed her to play big through countless injuries and blisters on her feet and hands. We would apply the magic Neosporin every night on her open lacrosse wound and she would be ready to go the next morning. That kind of love and passion isn't seen in every player. Savanah played from her heart, and I know she would have coached from her heart. I will never see her coaching up players, passing on her skills, playing wall ball with them, or celebrating team success as a coach. Savanah could have changed countless lives. That was taken from us on August 2nd, 2017 by Rodarte. Savanah's small frame did not help her in the backseat of Lee's car as a grown man murdered her. This crime has caused me to question every decision I've made. I knew at age 13 I wanted to live in Florida. Family Christmas vacation had me swimming in Florida instead of shoveling snow in Maryland. After being honorably discharged from the Navy, after 10 years of service, I had the opportunity to relocate my family to Florida. My daughter's murder calls into question a decision I made at 13. If Savanah had never had a chance to meet Lee Rodarte, would she still be alive? As Savanah's father, I've strived to be patient, loving, and a good listener. Why wasn't I striving to teach her self-defense? Why didn't I strive to teach her to use and carry a gun? Why didn't I strive to teach her how evil people can be? These regrets will forever be with me. My daughter's murder has changed my core values in a way that isolates me and causes mistrust at every level. Our extended family is scattered up and down by the East Coast. Most of Savanah's cousins are at wonderful times in their lives. Some are going to high school, others starting college, still others are finishing their degrees and setting out to change the world. Savanah's physical presence has been taken from us. Savanah will always be with our hearts. At each and every joyous life accomplishment, Savanah will be with us. It is extremely important to me not to give Savanah's murderer any more control over my life. Savanah's murderer has muted my beautiful daughter's voice. Savanah's true colors will forever be with my family and every day of my life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Gold.
Your Honor, the state would next call Mr. Chris Gold.
Certainly.
Dear Honorable Frank,
Mr. Gold, can you please introduce yourself to the court? And
yeah, I was her brother. And her brother.
you're Mr. Christopher Gold, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could please read your victim impact statement.
Yes, ma'am. Dear Your Honor, Savanah was a hard-working person who would do anything for anyone. She was a perfectionist who strived to only do something if she knew she could give it her all. She was passionate about everything from sewing to lacrosse. She was so passionate about lacrosse that she would upset if she played bad, even if she won. After lacrosse games, she would have blisters on her toes from driving so hard on the ground. That passion was infectious. People always tried to do better when around her. I always stepped up my game when she was around. For example, when we worked together, she was Employee of the Month twice, and I was never even nominated. It's not the only time she outshined me. She learned how to ride a bike the same year I did, and she was 6 years younger than I am. Hell, she learned how to wakeboard before I did. But looking back, it's quite impressive. I was always amazed how she was always to do the best thing. No, that's fine. It's hard to put in words what she meant to me, and it's hard to say to strangers what she meant to me. So unfortunately, my memories of her accomplishments are all I have left. I remember waking up with her on Christmas morning and walking out to the living room. One of my fondest memories is on Christmas Eve. One of my fondest memories is on Christmas Eve when my sister learned that my parents had bought her a cherry red Volkswagen Beetle. She cried when she found out they had been hiding in the backyard the entire time. She and I then went to an abandoned parking lot so I could show her how to drive stick shift. Yet again, she picked it up quicker than I did, and she was doing donuts within 20 minutes in that same parking lot. That might sound extreme, but to us, it was the best way to spend Christmas. When we were kids, she would sneak into my room on Christmas morning. Years later, I was showing her having the most fun ever Christmas gift. The holidays have not been the same, nor will they ever be. In fact, my family and I try to keep the holidays to a minimum. First couple holidays in the sense have been hard, and we even avoid celebrating. This past Christmas is especially tough. It always feels like there's something missing, like a presence looms over any celebration. She was always able to give the right gift with a perfect mixture of heart and want. When she couldn't afford a gift, she would hand make it. My house had multiple hangings from her that she gave me on Christmas. But now the awkward silences seem to loom on longer than they should. And it feels sluggish on holidays, and it feels like we all move in slow motion, as if our energy was gone without her presence. Holidays will always be tough. And how do I put into words what she meant to me? How do I explain that I lost a part of when she was killed? Not a day goes by without me thinking about her. I've been living in an emotional pit since then, afraid to open up to anybody. Even now, I struggle to put in a word what she truly meant to me. She was the one to call me on my nonsense, and I would do anything for her. Now I sit alone, staring blankly at a computer screen. She used to call me Chrissy, and now I won't anybody call me that. I have talked to therapists, doctors, detectives, friends, none of which have any clue what it's like to lose someone who's spent your entire life with. Someone who impacted their life more than us. I'm lost without her, and I don't think I'll ever find a way to fix it. I tried anything, and nothing to fix it. Not a day goes by when I don't cry. Hopefully this brings some kind of closure, and I'll leave the same way I left my grandma's funeral. Great man, General Patton said, we should not be sad that a person died. We should give thanks that such a person lived. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. Thank you for reading that.
The honor of the state will now call Savanah Gold. Ms. Gold, will you please introduce yourself to the court and let us know your relation to Ms. Savanah Gold?
My name is Sharon Gold. I'm Savannah's mother.
And have you prepared a victim impact statement?
I have.
You can please read that at this time.
Savanah H. Gold was our only girl and second child. She was taken from us when she was 21. How could we ever imagine the impact 21 would have on us? 21 was her jersey number in sports. 21 tattooed on her hand in Roman numerals. 21, the year her killer goes to prison. She had a full life ahead of her, full of opportunity. She did not get to experience the most beautiful parts, finding her path, the joys of parenthood, finding her purpose, her passion. When she was born, the doctor put her on my chest to say hello. She was so perfect, her big fat cheeks and little attitude. I loved her immediately. I finally got to meet the person doing aerobics in my belly. Moments as a toddler were fun. She was fearless with boundless energy. By the time she was 3, she would jump in the deep end of our pool and swim all day long. I'd imagine she would someday join the circus as an acrobat because she had so much joy doing flips off the diving board, trampoline, and in gymnastics. Savanah loved to draw pictures. As a young child, she would go through reams of paper with her drawings. Everywhere you looked were Savanah's drawings. In middle and high school, she auditioned for and got accepted into the art magnet schools. That's where she discovered her love of fiber. She learned to sew at school, and her dad helped teach her. When she got better, she would make shirts or purses to wear the next school day. She made costumes and studied stage design at school. I remember her coming home after learning how to use different tools, mostly saws and drills. She was so excited about the potential. She loved the process of working with her hands to create something unique. She often talked of someday designing shoes. Savanah was accepted to Savannah College of Art and Design, where she was offered scholarships for lacrosse and art. Savannah played lacrosse since middle school. As with everything she tried, she worked hard and was a grinder. To her, it was either be the best or not at all. She played throughout high school and toured with traveling teams. To watch her on the field was exciting. She was a team player and wanted to see everyone shine. She ultimately decided not to go to SCAD. I had just had my kidney removed and was facing 6 months of chemotherapy. It was my second major surgery and chemotherapy for stage 4 cancer, and I think it was important to her to be close to home. She would take me to chemo and get lunch for us. She picked up the slack at home and was my best caregiver. As much as I wanted her to be at college where she didn't have to see so much ugly, I was grateful she was near. Cancer, I consider to be one of the best things that ever happened to me because it brought us close together. When life is fragile, the little things no longer matter, and you just get busy doing the living. During a time when most mothers and daughters have strength, we were close. She understood that my time could be short. She understood more than most people can in a lifetime. She was empathetic. She had a big heart. She gave to everyone around her. She loved an underdog. I know it's what ultimately took her life. Savannah's best friend had her first baby a few days ago. While part of me was happy beyond belief for her, there was a great sadness too. Savannah will never have a baby. To know the greatest love I've ever felt. We will never hold her babies in our arms, never experience her mini-me, or to spoil our grandbabies. Savanah and her brother were the absolute shining light in our lives. Her life does not get to go on. Savanah was compassionate towards people and animals, almost to a fault. Once she was sitting at a red light when she saw a small kitten run under her car. Savanah got under her car to get the kitten and called me. Of course, all I wanted her was for her to get back in the car. The cat's name is Beaky, and she's been with us for 6 years. 3 years and 7 months longer than Savanah. I was also so proud of the woman she was. One of my favorite memories of her was when she was car shopping. The year she died, she worked 2 jobs and saved enough money to buy a better car. One day she asked me to go with her to go look at a car for sale by a private owner. I thought the car was cute. I would have handed him my money. Savanah lifts the hood, looks at the engine. The man selling it is my age, and I remember his mouth dropping open when Savanah got under the car to check it. He probably assumed that since Savanah was small, feminine, and petite, she could not possibly know about cars. Where was this car previously housed? She asked. Ohio, he tells her. She gets up, tells the man, thank you, and we go to leave. We get in the car, and she says, Mom, the bottom is full of rust. Savannah's dad made sure she knew how to change tires, change the oil, replace the brakes, and our girl could do all those things. I love that she knew what to look for and was confident enough to say so. Excuse me. Another memory was on the day she died. She was leaving for work when I told her I was fixing up her old car so she could sell to get some cash. You keep it, Mom, I'm good. She had $31 when she died. She worked 2 jobs, but it was more important to give than to have for herself. I loved it about her, but it also worried me for her. You want your children to care for themselves first, but it just wasn't her. How do I put into words what my child meant to me? She loved fiercely, she gave freely, she was funny, kind, and a fantastic dancer. She had color and art in her soul. My best friend, my sweet baby, my heart. My love for her is endless and boundless. The only way I can continue on is to know that the last thing she would want for us is for this to break us. Her dad said he doesn't want this to blacken our hearts, that we have to continue Savannah's love and give back as she would have wanted. A few days after she died, a large bright blue butterfly was on our back patio. I had been crying endlessly, and watching the butterfly seemed to put my spirit at peace. The butterfly stayed for a long time. I now know that it had been a newborn and was allowing its wings to unfurl and dry. After that day, I planted butterfly gardens all around our house and now sit outside with them. They remind me of the joy and beauty still in this world and how important it is to continue feeling the beauty in spite of the ugly we've seen. We will continue to love and appreciate the beautiful butterflies in the short time they're here.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes the statements that we wish to be read aloud, but if I may, read the names and the relation to the victim of the remaining statements.
Certainly.
We have a letter that we entered into evidence by Savanah Gold's best friend, Mackenzie Gibson. A letter by Savanah Gold's closest friend, Lydia Malden. A letter by Savanah Gold's friend, Amy Mashburn. A letter by Savanah Gold's friend, Amy Carlson. And a letter by Savanah Gold's grandmother, Georgia Ransom. And a letter by Savanah Gold's friend, Emily Walker.
Any others?
That concludes them, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right, and I have read each and every one of those. Anything else from the state in terms of victim impact?
Nothing else in terms of victim impact, Your Honor. We just have the two restitution amounts and two separate orders that I believe defense is stipulating to.
Mr. Chipperfield?
Your Honor, we don't have anything to present, and we do stipulate that we agree to those two restitution orders.
Okay, and you have you prepared restitution orders for the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you'd like to, probably just put them up here,
Yes, sir.
we'll be fine. Ms. Williams can hand them to me. Thanks. All right, and just for the record, we have two orders of restitution. One is to share Elizabeth Gold and the Victim Compensation Trust Fund. That amount is $8,962.69. The other is to only the Victim Compensation Trust Fund, and that amount is for $1,299. Is that stipulated agreement, Mr. Chipperfield?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll enter those at the conclusion of the hearing. Ready for me to proceed with the sentence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have previously taken, and the court has accepted Mr. Rodarte's plea of guilty. In connection with that plea of guilty, there was a negotiated sentence, and that negotiated sentence was an adjudication of guilty on count 1 of the information filed against Mr. Rodarte, which is a count for second-degree murder. That involved a sentence of 40 years in prison with credit for time served since August 5th, 2017. In connection therewith, the state had agreed to drop counts 2 and 3. imposed and a $150 public defender's fee. Are there any surcharges, Ms. Williams? Additionally, restitution will be ordered to the Victims' Compensation Trust Fund in the amount of $1,299 and separately ordered to Sharon Elizabeth Gold and the Victims' Compensation Trust Fund in the amount of $8,962.69. Mr. Rodarte, do you understand that sentence?
So,
You do maintain the right to appeal the sentence I just imposed, if that sentence is illegal. If you do appeal, you have to appeal within 30 days. If you do not afford an attorney for the appeal, one will be appointed for you. Do you understand? Your court cost would be due 90 days after your release. Anything else from the state or the defense?
Your Honor, in regards to case 2017 CF 7212, state will announce a null pros code 30 in regards to counts 2 and 3.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing else in the state.
Very good. I want to sincerely thank everyone who came today and made their statements. This is the first, I've been recently appointed to the bench. This is the first sentencing hearing that I've presided over of a crime of this nature. So I want you to understand that the things you said will stay with me